It is finally time for a brand new mini box in Duel Links. It's time for Rush Duels, being the heavy metal scream. Of course, we've got Roa now in the game. Bring with him the Royal Demons, which seem to be pretty cool, but not necessarily the new best deck in the game. Which Rush Duel metagame right now is kind of just Dragia, 7's Road. And hopefully, given this box has a ton of back row, there will be some change. Now also, we've got some new stuff coming to the card trader and bundles. First of all, we've got the Road Magic Tempest in the card trader, which is a blanket Book of Moon. It's got a skill as well. This could be cool. We'll have to wait and see. But also, the big thing is 2 legend bundles. So first of all is the White Rune one, which when your opponent declares an attack, you put the monster on the field with the highest attack. This is really, really good. I thought we wouldn't get this card as a legend out the gate, but now we are. Very cool. Immediate inclusion in every deck. Just, it's so good. But also, Reincarnation, which is a weird one, right? I think you'll play it just because Monster Recursion is so big in Rush Duel, right? Even if just bringing back a Dragius can be huge. It's not the best legend spell we could get. I think getting Shield and Sword would have been even better. For a first one, it's not too bad. And I believe Duel Links uses the new legend rule, right? So you can play this, plus Summon Skull, if you really want to. Or Dark Magician, or Red Eyes coming via the brand new bundle campaign. So this will be pretty cool. Brand new skill. Let's go on to the brand new box though. And it's a mini box with 4 URs and 10 SRs, so giving you more cards in the box and different rarities with less packs per box. And we don't know what packs we're getting, so we'll have to wait and see if it's like 70 or 80, but overall, I'm a bit mixed on this box. I think it's cool, I think there's some fun stuff in here. I'm not sure how good it's going to be, and the issue is because with Rush, it's a lot harder to kind of judge whether a card is good in a vacuum or not. Like if you look at a Speedo box, right, and you see, oh, there's Live Twins and Blue Eye support, you've got archetypal stuff, but in Rush Duel, it's all kind of type-based and stat-based, and so let's go through one by one and see what is good. First of all, we've got a spell card, the Ghost Cyclone. If you've got a monster on the field, pop 1 spell track on opponent's side of the field, then if there's 3 less monsters in your graveyard, you can draw 1 card. This is a bit of a buff to the Hammer Shot we've got, but it is only useful like at the immediate start of your turn, and so going second, this is really good. Getting you a +1 is fantastic. But also, if it's turn 3, turn 4, then this might not be able to see play, because your opponent might think, you know what, this card's in the game, I'm going to leave 1 body up, and then you can't get the pop off, you can't get the draw off as well. People like this, but I'm not like too crazy on it. Maybe for a side deck card in tournaments, if we get them, then that'll be good, but at the moment, I'm not too sure. Then we've got Ancient Arise Dragon. This card I think is going to be so fun. It's level 7, 24, send top card to graveyard. This card gains 600. Okay, not too bad. If you've got Clear Ice and Burning Blaze Dragon in your graveyard, shove both into the deck, then pop a monster on your field with 15 less defense points. So that can be really big, given you've got what, like, let's see, 7's Road is going to be, I believe, 13 defense. So this would work. Dragius, I think, is 21. Oh, it's 15 as well. Okay, so you can just pop Dragius if you do happen to have both these 2 in your graveyard. And there's a skill that buffs these, so you might well see this on ladder. This could be pretty cool. Then we've got Bender Break. Now, I really don't think this card is any good at the moment, because it's reliant on there being the same number of monsters on your opponent's side of the field as spawn traps on yours. And so, yes, you can set your cards face down to match them, but given that there's not much great back right now, and you want to summon this, I think the amount of resources you need to actually pull this effect off isn't going to be super crazy. And so, this kind of comes off to me as a worse version of the Voltcorn deck, at least right now. I could be really wrong, but to me, that's kind of how I look at this card. And finally, for Limit 3s, is Heavy Metal, the main ace of Roa. This made sense, you know, there is no way we're getting Dragius plus this in the same slot. Even though you do kind of conflict right being 2 high tributes, this card is so good. If you summon it by tributing level 5 higher monster, so you can play the tribute boost skill to make this 1 tribute, or of course go for 2 tribute summons, which is a little bit less value, but it still makes sense. You get to pop 1 monster on the side of the field, it's the lowest level, and if you do, this card gains tap points, and so if you have got a Dragius staring you down, then this card can become 5,000 attack and completely decimate the game. So this will be a very fun deck, but it is going to kind of hinge on the skills and the cards we get, and I think at the moment, there's not enough there for it to be a super duper insane crazy deck. I could be wrong again, but I think it'll be fun, but not crazy. But then on to the super rares where things get kind of interesting. So let's start with the big ones, right? Battle traps. We're getting Core of the Earth, Battle Limit 3, so you have to not really play alongside Dragius or Phantom Dragon or the Heavy Metal. You can choose your opponent's attack targets for their attacks. This is so big, given you can now, let's say you're playing against dragons and got a Dragius on your field, and you know they're going to buff their up to 28, attack over the Dragius. You can now set your Dragius by targeting on something else. They can't beat over next turn. You're going to be able to swing in. Then we've got the Music Princess's Recital, which is going to stop an attack on one monster on your field. Exactly one. I think this is better than it seems, because a lot of times you do want at least one body on your field, next turn, to get the most value out of your turn, right? The more cards you have at the start of your turn on your field, the better, in my opinion. So I wouldn't count this card out. Then we've got the Dark Ruler Battle Slash. It is for warriors. Attacking monsters lose 4 attack points, and then if you've got face level 8 high warrior on the field, you can pop one back where they have. This card is insane for that deck. You'll play this 100%. It is fantastic. Speaking of warriors, we've got Piercing Samurai, which I believe was in Gavin's Gate deck. This can give one of your guys piercing. If you've got 3 bodies on the field, this will happen. In warriors, it just happens. They're good at that. This removes the need for pierce in that deck, the spell card, meaning you can then run this in its place. So overall, fantastic. Then we've got the Seraph of Darkness, again, another card for warriors, which would be so good. If you've got face level 5 or higher dark on your field, pay 500 to put a guy to attack mode or defense mode on your opponent's side of the field. Again, works with the whole summoning level 8, attack directly. This is fantastic. It's a relatively newer card as well compared to other cards in this box, and so very cool. We're kind of seeing a mixed match of cards from Go Rush and from Sevens coming to Duel Links. Very cool. Then we've got the Black Dragon's Chick. Same as it does in Speed Duel, works the same. You'll need this for Red Eyes. It's fine. We've then got Beast Summoner. If your opponent's got a big body, trip this card, summon out a level 7 or lower Beast, Beast Warrior Wing Beast from hand to a field, so you've got things like your Volt Condor. This card works very well with that deck, meaning it's now technically a 1 tribute going second, which is fantastic. We've got the Royal Rebels Rocker. It's level 5, but can recur out your Heavy Metal or another level 6, which is plenty fine, right? Even getting back Summon Skull, tribute this off for that. And finally, we've got some new cards for Psychic, who are also getting a skill for Roman, which turns her into Hangry Roman, which is very fun. It gives you Esperate, it gives you a second copy of the Romantic, which is fantastic. But we've got Giftarist. It's a new level 7 boss that can buff itself up to plus 800 extra, which I think is like the new de facto boss. I think this is better than Prima Katana, just because you've got higher stats by default, and there's no life point gimmick with it. It's just send top quality to the graveyard, gain attack points. It fits in with how Rush is now, and even with this plus 800 potentially, right, bringing her to 32, which is crazy, it then kind of gets around this trap card over here. We'll talk about this in a minute. And finally for Super Rares is Speedy Performer. If your opponent's got a body on their field, send top quality to the graveyard. To give them monster you control 400 attack points, this is okay, nothing amazing. It's another body. The rares and normals are where things get kind of interesting, because we've got another new level 4, 1500, fantastic. We've got the Ancient Arise Dragon support cards, right? This one, it pops a field spell. It's got bigger attack points, but the field spell skill is useless, right? So there's no real point in using this part of the effect. The other one, though, is going to shuffle 2 monsters in your opponent's graveyard back into the deck. And so this is also in Rush Duel a form of disruption, because they can set things up like their Creebots in their graveyard, or for Dragons, a Sports Dragon, Pitcher, and Slugger. This can take those out of the game and make it so your opponent has no real easy play they can draw into on their turn. So this, with a skill, buffing it up, sending a card, being able to play the effect off, is going to be very, very cool. Also, Noodle Ninja's getting some more support. We've got Fire Yarrow and the Flavor Inspector as new normal summons, taking out the Stock and the Tang. Crazy good. But also, a new spell card, the New Roastery, which buffs your monsters times 100 for every normal in your graveyard, and both place graveyards. So this for farming decks is going to be very, very, very good. So this just makes them more free to play, which is even more fantastic. So overall, good stuff. But the big thing is going to be, I also know one more thing that's kind of big, I think, is this card here, the Summoning Flute. Now, this can bring back a normal monster in your graveyard in defense mode. So theoretically, yes, you can bring back a Blue Eyes or a Dark Magician or a Red Eyes or a Summon Skull, but there's a skill that works with this that lets you change a balance to your opponent's monster, and so like it all works together to you tribute this, summon back a Summon Skull, put monster in defense mode, attack over. This will be very, very cool. So looking forward to this one as well. But the big card here is this, the Barrier. It is a generic battle trap. It's recursion as well, shove the card from your graveyard back to your deck, and the attacking monster loses 400 attack points at the end of the turn. This can be so big for so many decks, right? Let's take dragons. If you're facing down a dragon duelist, they're probably going in for things like their Dragonlike Slayer, or their Piercing Bunker Strike, making them 28, attacking over your Dragius. With this trap card, these will now die to Dragius. Right, they become 28, this is 25, it doesn't clear. Even if you use the brand new skill to buff this to 28, then this also doesn't clear them. Seventh Road, of course, is still a bit of a problem, because it will become 39, and so this does nothing against that. But if you're facing mainly non-1 type decks, this is so good, and was really needed. You know, a trap card they really needed, and I think they could have put us a super rare, but they didn't, and that's a good thing. Also, we're getting again more Psychic support. I think Psychics kind of got better off in this box than Roa did, which is a bit weird to say given it's his box, but they are cousins, so it does kind of work out. But overall, I'm excited to see how this does shake up the Rush Duel metagame. It's been a while, right? We've had like a very little content of Rush Duel since it dropped in Duel Links, and so all these new cards hopefully will change things up in a relatively big way. Now, another big thing that can happen is upcoming updates on the 25th, 26th, 27th, right? We'll see December, and they could confirm whether December's going to be a Speed Mini Box and a Rush Main Box on New Year's Day, which would be huge, because that would then mean we're only 5 weeks away from more Rush Duel content. If not, we've got Anniversary coming in January, and so I do hope they get better at spacing things out. Don't clump Rush events together. Give us more cards via the card trade or via event drops or whatever. Like, just do something to make this format not super stale. And I hope they learn and take that message on board, because it's been kind of rough. I've been trying to play COG recently in Rush Duel, and I've had queue times of 20 seconds to queue times of 4.5 minutes. It's been a weird up and down, and so I'm going to go and test out some decks, hopefully be able to do a pack opening video when the box drops. And yeah, we'll see you all for some more Rush Duel content. I'm really excited. I probably got a lot of this wrong, by the way, so, you know, this is my rough first thoughts and opinions. If they're wrong, let them down below, and yeah, I'll see you all in the next Duel Links video, which is probably going to be Roa's Unlock review on the 22nd. See you then.